Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is basically an intro video explaining what bike I'm riding, where I'm riding, and I guess why I'm riding. I've got two bikes here. One's an upgraded Raleigh MC300 I believe, and one's a stock Kraton, Raleigh Kraton 26. And I basically got them both here to use as a comparison between the two, so you can see what a stock one is capable of and what and how much you can upgrade one. And yeah, in this channel I'm gonna be showing a lot of just a lot of me riding in weird places, a lot of single track, some urban roads with terrible pavement, so it'll basically feel like an ollie trail, a lot of downhills, backpack rides and all that weird stuff. But for the first video, I figured I'd just show my trusty steed, because I had a different philosophy. I didn't want to go in as an amateur myself. I started about, what is this? I should be in like my 7th month now. Yeah, 7th month of riding. And I didn't want to drop $1,000 on a bike, because at that time I didn't even want to. I'll bring up some pictures for you to look at of how this bike started, because this is my daily driver. This is my main bike. I use this one's basically my go-to bike. This one is just a second bike I use for friends, because where I live it's not really popular to do mountain biking, and not many people want to or can afford to, I guess. So I always have a second bike here that I let my brothers use or friends. I usually try to keep it, in decent condition, so that I can go out with people and have fun with them, which would be a huge point. I usually have a second person with me whenever I'm out there, and this is the bike they'll be riding, unless of course they have their own. But yeah, this is basically a video showcasing how I ended up with this monstrosity right here, and how it all started from going to a small bike shop in my country that sells bikes like these, which are budget at best and just entry-level bikes, and how by some sheer form of luck I actually landed with a frame that is actually capable of fitting in high-end parts and with the correct geometry for what I'll be doing. Imagine trying to go down a steep 12% to 15% incline, I guess we'll be going down it with this sort of geometry. It'll be all over the place. The seat doesn't go all the way down and all of that compared to this. Obviously my dropper has it going further up, but I would have preferred to have it a bit lower. But for now, this is what I've got. Anyway, let's begin story time. Okay, so the picture you're seeing up on screen right now is back in the end of December, early January, where I just purchased the bike. It was brand new, just got home, and you can see this is the bike. It's a Raleigh MC300 with a horrible bottle cage or bottle holder at this point. A 21 speed, 3 in the front, 7 at the back, Shimano 20. I'm gonna try see if I can find if there's a picture with the Shimano 20 on it. And I basically rode that for a lot of months, and even I think I snapped the bottom bracket while doing a gnarly descent somewhere near a mine, and then I had to swap it. So you'll notice that it then changes later on in the future. After a while, I decided that, you know what, let me swap out the tires. As you can see, that's when I got the double hammers. And that's when it really sparked my interest. I was like, you know what, at this point, why don't we start actually upgrading this thing? And my upgrade path was a bit tough because the bike came with a cluster, right? So I had to replace the whole rim. And fun story there, literally the day I went to get the rims fixed, it turned out I'd actually snapped the axle in half. Well, no, it didn't snap, not in half, but you know it is. And whenever we took it apart, it just fell apart. And everyone was concerned and worried, like, how exactly was I able to get the bike from my house to the bike shop, because I actually rode there. So yeah, here are some pictures of me taking into account some measurements and all that, making sure everything was okay. I actually went deep into mechanics, like bike mechanics, geometry, and all of that to try to figure out which parts will fit. Because in a lot of these older bikes or entry level bikes, a lot of them can't fit a lot of these new rims, new hubs. Like 135 millimeters is the bare minimum. It's old and it's literally the bare minimum of what can fit. The other rally bike that you saw, the Kraton, has 130, which was wild. I'm pretty sure maybe I measured it wrong, but it does look considerably thinner than the other one. So it's stuff like that. I was actually perfectly lucky whenever I got this particular frame. I then took apart the whole bike and, well, during cleaning, obviously, trying to measure everything, making sure the chainstay was correct and other upgrades, because I do intend to switch to new air shocks, because this has basically become my project bike. And yeah, that's basically how it all started. Now let's look at what specs and what I actually changed and what is currently installed on the bike and discuss what's coming in future upgrades. Alright, now that we've discussed what was on the bike before, it was very close to what is currently installed on this bike. A 21 speed, 3 gears in the front with 7 at the back. This is a knockoff brand and I do not recommend. If you're getting an entry level bike, avoid this type unless you know you're gonna remove it, which is actually what I'm gonna do. All the parts that came off that one, which I listed in, which you saw in the just a few seconds ago, we're gonna install them here. Just waiting on some tools to arrive. Anyways, let's start small up top. Unfortunately, we had a bit of an issue with the brakes. For now, as a makeshift to get along, I had bought both Shimano brakes, like hydraulic disc brakes, 2-piston, and unfortunately, we had an accident where I ordered online and got 2 right lever brakes, so they were both for the back. And whenever I went to the bike shops here in the country, they didn't have the front version with the left lever. So as makeshift, I just ordered some Tektro brakes that were there at the moment, which I've currently been using. They're doing the job, but I do have Shimano brakes that are in the work shed, just waiting to be installed. But yes, we have hydraulic disc brake upgrade, up from the mechanical disc brakes. New grips, because I tried to color code the bike, but unfortunately they didn't have the same type of blue. We installed a dropper, a Wafson, I think it's Wafferson or Wafson dropper. Not a really high end, pretty low end, because I was trying to keep costs low to see how much I could upgrade this bike without breaking the bank. My target was $900, in line with I believe a Titan. I'll have to double check which Titan it is, but in line with a Titan racing bike that was at a local bike shop, which was going for about $800-900. And this is what I got. I actually managed to get a dropper. I switched to some platform pedals. For a second, I wanted to go with clip-ins, but I think for now, I decided I don't want to be buying new shoes and everything. So I got in some huge platforms with some pretty large studs, both on both sides. I tried to color code these ones with the grips. I actually succeeded there. I think IXF buckloose, chainring, and like whole bottom bracket and cranks. They've been doing the job. I haven't had any issues. They work perfectly. Oh yes, this is an externally routed dropper because I don't have any internal routing. We could have makeshift like a way, because the actual housing in here is a bit large, so you can squeeze a cable right up, but I think it's just easier to have an externally routed dropper, which is what I got right here. Right, right here I've got a 41 tooth cassette 11 speed, because for the 12 speed I would have needed a special rim to fit the 135 millimeter gap, which was a menace to find. Like, finding this one was actually pretty easy because someone just happened to have one lying around and it was in great condition. Running a tubeless setup with the double hammer tires. I haven't changed my tires yet. though that may be happening soon, especially with tire inserts to try and protect the rim as much as possible. We've got a Shimano Dior M5 150, I believe, the 11-speed long cage version, SGS, I believe, with the KMC 11-speed chain. And yeah, eventually I may go one with the 46 tooth rear cassette, or I'll switch to the M5 100s and have a 51 tooth 11-speed cassette. It depends how I'm feeling, but that's a future upgrade for another time. What else did we have? We've got a 160 disc at the back. In front, we've got rally coil shocks. I believe they're from Suntour. I'm not sure which exact one, but mechanics do believe they're a version of Suntour that taken by Rally. And we've still got the stock rim on this one. I will be changing it in future whenever I switch the shocks, because I want to get rock shocks to upgrade this 140 millimeters of travel. And I'm gonna switch it to a 27.5 running into some bullet setup. And basically what that's gonna do is allow me to swap away from this rim. It's a good rim, especially for 250 bucks. It came with a pretty decent rim set. But yeah, it's pretty good. The other issue we had was tapered air tubes. Unfortunately, it is not tapered, but we did a lot of measurements and checking with the bike mechanics. It is reinforced enough that we can put an adapter that will allow us to run tapered forks without putting too much stress on the air tube, especially if we can stay under 150 millimeters of travel. It will be fine with the frame. It will make the frame more aggressive, but given the riding style I actually have, the preferring descents and all that, it's actually a benefit. It's a benefit to me. It'll be a more comfortable ride. Upgrades that are on the way at the moment. Unfortunately, because one, I'm lucky because dropper post fits in the ice, but we need another bottle. I'm gonna have to run another small bottle. Have a bottle cage right here, or run it underneath. So I got a portable, or I guess an adapter that sticks to the frame, allowing me to put another bottle cage. I'll be testing that to see how it works. I'll try make another video whenever that comes up, and eventually I'll try swap to a shorter stem, because I'm a pretty small person. I am about 5'4", so running a very small frame with 26 and eventually 27.5 in the front, 26 at the back will not be a problem. But yes, basically this is the bike I'm running. It's a little dirty because you'll see in the next video the trail that I just come from before making this video. But yes, this is my trusty steed. Whenever I have a partner who doesn't have a bike, I allow them to use this old boy here, which I try to keep up to date. Eventually, I do plan on swapping out this off-brand aftermarket part, which is not good. I do not advise buying this brand new ever. Do not do it. To the old Shimano Tony that was on that bike, and basically swapping out everything from the shifters to... I'm not sure if I'll change this, to be honest. I'm pretty sure it's fine. But yeah, it's got a bottle cage. It's got everything that you could possibly wish for. For entry-level people who just want to get out there and enjoy the sights, the trails, and everything, I feel like this is a good starting point, especially since they're getting to ride it for free. So yeah, this is basically a rundown of the bikes I'm running with. Thank you for watching this intro video to my channel, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the content I'll be uploading weekly.